Alright, Better Call Saul episode 5. Not loads to report today, and an episode that made progress, but it made progress slowly as all the episodes pretty much of this season have been doing so far. Kim and Saul are now plotting something regarding a judge. That's going to be the next step in their plan, it seems, but it's hard to see how this is going to work now that Howard knows what they're doing and how they're trying to tarnish him. I do like the fact, however, that Howard will be pushing back. That can finally add a bit of tension and sort of make this little plot more exciting, because right now it's intriguing, but it's not yet matched with something really exciting and interesting happening. So this can hopefully liven it up a bit as he's now going to push back. Maybe the fact that Howard has clocked on and the fact that he is going to push back was in fact all part of the plan from Kim and Saul. Maybe they want that. They want that so that when Howard pushes back and does something against them, they can make a big deal about it. They can say, look at this former friend who's trying to tarnish us now that we've gone to try and do our own thing. Maybe that's their whole plan. Like, they wanted to get him to just push back. They wanted to get him annoyed. They wanted to get him angry. And on top of this, you could see when Howard had his realization and mentioned this to Cliff Main, saying it's Jimmy McGill. Cliff Main didn't seem all that convinced. He still thinks that Howard is sort of like in denial, that he's going crazy. So when Howard does push back, and if it becomes common knowledge to people like Cliff Main, he will associate it as, yeah, Howard is unhinged, he's crazy, he's losing the plot, and that's why he's done it. Howard will just look like this unhinged cocaine addict, and that's the plan. If it were to go down this route, I think it could get very interesting. I really do think it could, especially with two people actually fighting against each other and trying to tarnish each other. I think that's when it becomes the plot that it's meant to, because right now it's kind of timid, and it could really take it to an exciting level. And on top of that, I find it hard to believe that Kim and Saul didn't have this as part of their plan. Like, now that I'm thinking about it, it definitely seems like part of their scheme to get Howard to find out that they're trying to tarnish him, because they seem very calm, they didn't seem shocked, they didn't seem upset that Howard knows. It seemed like it was all part of their scheme, and you know, they're just thinking about the next part of their plan, the next plot. In regards to the judge, maybe it's, I don't know, they'll wait for Howard to do something and then use the judge in some way to get him in legal trouble. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's miles off that. It really could be anything. They'll have something creative planned. I have to hope this plotline though has more end product than just Howard Hamlin having his career and image ruined. I need it to be more than that. I'm hoping the results of this make it messy for everyone involved and have huge impacts on these characters, shaping things up nicely for Breaking Bad. As for the other side of things, Gus is in a state we've never really seen him, not so much to this extent, where he's very paranoid and very nervous about Lalo, where he is, what his next move is. As we later discover, and to my surprise because I didn't actually think we'd get Lalo yet, we see Lalo and he is in Germany. Here he is looking for Werner Ziegler's wife, of course, who he knows about. He knows about Werner Ziegler. He knows that he has a wife, so therefore he's gone looking for her to find out what Werner Ziegler was doing for Gus. I like that Lalo is plotting things very, very carefully. He's not just going straight for the jugular at Gus. He's going out of his way. He's gone all the way to Germany to find this guy who worked for Gus, find his wife, and then try and find information about that guy in the wife's house. You know, he's going to extreme lengths to just intricately sort this plot out that he has. Of course, he finds the plaque that's from the boys, as from Werner's workers, and there's, I don't know, I think there was something on the bottom maybe about who crafted it, and maybe when he finds out who crafted it, he can find out who asked for it, and then maybe he can get information from one of the workers to find, you know, the location of the lab. But even the workers don't know the location of the lab, so it's going to be tricky, but I guess he just wants to know what they're building in that sense, and then Lalo can take that information from there. Of course, Gus went to the lab and he placed a gun in there, and I think that could be crucial. I really do think that could come back to be something that maybe saves his life in a point where Lalo does find the lab and maybe waits for Gus there, and then maybe Gus has to use the gun to kill Lalo in that situation when it really seems like Lalo has him cornered. You know, maybe Gus kills him and Lalo gets buried in the walls of the lab. Who knows? Maybe he's always in the walls of the lab when Walt and Jesse are cooking in there so many years later. Who knows? I'm glad Lalo is back, and I'm guessing a return to New Mexico is probably back on the cards. Either way, it's shaped up well for next week. I'm saying that most weeks, but really it is shaping up well. It's getting closer. The tension is rising, and things are getting ever so closer to boiling point. We are we are getting there. Of course, there's only 2 episodes left of this like midway point. Like I think episode 7 is going to be the mid-season finale. So we've got 2 episodes for it to really end on some cliffhanger that's going to be torture, as we have to wait another 2 months before we get the rest of the season. But that is going to be interesting. So these next 2 episodes should really spice things up. I'm hoping for it, because it's been a slow burn apart from that 3rd episode with nachos, so hopefully we're in for something good. If I had to rate today's episode, I would say 8 out of 10 again. Most episodes have been 8 out of 10 apart from the nacho episode, which was just a masterpiece in my eyes. But it's doing well, it's getting there, and I think we are not far away from something pretty exciting happening. So we've just got to be patient. What this show is all about is patience, because it always has paid off in the past, and I can't see why it wouldn't again. If they don't, it's going to be a huge cock-up, but I think they got this in the bag. These are very, very good storytellers. Thank you guys all for watching. I've been Joe Squared. If you've seen it, please let me know what you think about it, what you think's going to happen, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.